So everybody wants to talk about where the catches are, but it's a win. How much do you really care?
A win is a win. A win is the most important thing for us to get to where we need to go, 1 week at a time. Obviously, you'd love to have catches and whatnot, yards, but we found a way to win. Obviously, I think as a whole, as an offense, we have a bunch of areas to improve everywhere, and we know that first week, I feel like it's probably the toughest week for an offense, just to get everything down. But yeah, it was a tough game. Win's a win. Obviously, no one scored overtime, but we ended up coming out on top. O-line played amazing towards the end. All game really. Demo put the team on his back. So
When beyond a win, when it helps JMO break out, does it make it a little bit easier too?
of course, I mean, I've been telling everyone he's gonna have a breakout game. I don't know when it's gonna be, and sure enough, it was week 1. So him doing that and continuing to do that is only gonna help us as an offense. Everyone wants to talk about who's gonna be our receivers. Do they have enough depth? I mean, you got JMO doing that, and then all of us coming along. It's gonna be a great year for us.
Were they doing anything to try to take you out the game, particularly what was the defense doing out there?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they weren't doing anything too much. Maybe a little bit of cloud sometimes, but they were throwing a lot of different looks, different coverages on defense. Some plays that we wanted to get to. We didn't have the right look, or we had a false start. So many little things that happened throughout that game. Just kind of unlucky, but I slip on a route. So many things. So it was just one of those games. But like I said, a win's a win. We're happy, but we know as an offense we can be much better.
Can you run us really?
Y'all got Tampa Bay next. You had some success against them. How much did that light a fire in you a little bit going into this week though as well?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready. Obviously, I think we played them 3 times in less than a calendar year, so it's kind of crazy. I was just thinking about that today. But we know them, they know us. But it's going to be a good battle. They got a good defense. They always do. They do a bunch of different stuff on defense too. So we got to be ready. They can throw anything at us. It might not be what they did against Washington week 1, but they're going to have a plan for us. We're going to have a plan for them. So I know not ready yet. We got a few more days, but we'll be ready.
Just because you mentioned it, the route you slipped was actually a pretty big play because you got up. Can you just the instincts, the mentality that goes into that, knowing you maybe have to turn into a defender really quickly there?
Yeah, I ran the slant. He kind of pressed up last minute. I wasn't ready for him, so he kind of pushed me off balance, and I slipped. And I knew that that play was for me. And as I was slipping, I was hoping that Jerry wasn't going to throw it. I look up and he's throwing it to me. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, the last thing I can do is just knock it down, or just try to catch it. But I couldn't catch it because one hand was on the ground. So I was like, let me just knock it down. Because I knew he was somewhere behind me. I don't know where he was exactly, but I didn't know. After looking at it, he actually told me after the play that I'm a smart player. But after seeing it on film, I didn't know his hands were ready to catch the interception. So it was pretty crazy.
That's a lot of thoughts in 1.5 seconds. So maybe that all happened.
Yeah.
Back to the secondary for the Bucs is really banged up right now. How much of an opportunity is that for you guys?
Yeah, they got a bunch of good players. Being banged up, I learned not to really care about that or listen to that. We played Green Bay last year. They were banged up too, and they came out to play. So this is the NFL. Everyone can play. There's a reason why they're here. So we're not taking that easy or lightly. They got players on that defense that can play. They've been together for a long time. All the coaches, a lot of the players. So they, like I said, they run a lot of different coverages. They do it well. They send pressure. They do a bunch of different things. So we got to be ready to play.
Good.
Thank you, guys.
We've talked to you since you've seen it live now, the transition to safety. I know you're still doing some nickel stuff too, but what do you like about it? A couple of maybe what-ifs from that game that you probably like back, but just your overall impression of moving back there and playing.
I like it better. I feel like it gives me a chance to really go make more plays on the ball, in the deep part of the field. I just got to get used to tackling in open space. I feel like that's one of my things I need to work on back there. But overall, I like it back there.
You got a couple hands-on balls. You probably should have had a pick.
Should have had a pick.
Yeah. So you already seeing the games from week 1, and just does it excite you about, holy cow, man, I might be able to really make a bunch of plays?
Oh, yes, sir. It's only up from here. It's only up from here.
What was it like playing all those snaps?
I got to get used to that, too. I was kind of tired going into, the midway through the third quarter, but then I got my win back. But playing all those snaps is no joke. So
is that something you just have to do in a game to kind of develop?
Yeah, and just doing little stuff at practice, like just running to the ball consistently. I think that'll help me build my win up, and yeah, mainly just running out there.
Probably pretty thankful that you didn't go to overtime. You didn't have to play in overtime.
Oh yeah, thank God Demo put us on his back.
What goes into getting used to tackling more in open space more?
Just doing it in practice, and honestly, safety is not completely new, so it's like I feel like I just was too antsy on those tackles that I missed, just not coming down, like breaking down. So that's lesson learned though.
When's the last time you played every snap in the game?
I would say New Orleans last year, Chicago, the first time we played Chicago, Green Bay. So yeah, it's been like 5 games, but it'll be like after those, towards the back end of the season, I wasn't playing every snap.
Dan said you came up to him and said, "I won't miss those 2 again." What did he say to you when you said that?
He said, "We know you're gonna fix it." So that's good coming from him.
What about the opportunity this week against a Bucs team? Obviously, was really good in the pass game last week, but they're a team. You guys played them twice last year. They're going to take their shots.
They are.
And there's going to be maybe some opportunities there to make some more plays.
Yes, sir. I feel like the Bucs and the Rams offense pretty much are identical. They just the Bucs have a great receiver in Mike Evans, and they have another good receiver over there. But as far as like scheme wise, they're identical, and Baker's gonna throw it. And every last one of us gonna get a chance to get our hand on the ball. And we just gotta capitalize off of it.
For you is to be consistent. How big of a challenge is that for you to be consistent, and what do you have to do to get that?
It's a challenge, You just gotta stay focused, That's all. Stay focused and just go week by week, take it day by day, and that's the main thing with staying focused and being consistent. So, those 2 things fall in line within those lines. So, those would be the main thing.
When the negativity has come in, when you've heard negative things about JMO and all the different things, the suspensions, all that stuff, has it been as easy to block that out as it is to block out all the positive hype that you've heard after this first game?
I don't really pay attention to nothing that don't go on outside this building or my house, So I don't really pay attention to what people got to say about me or people around me.
Good or bad?
Good or bad.
You've always been a confident guy, a confident player since you stepped in here. That's at least the impression me and everybody else has gotten. But what is a performance like that week 1 do for that confidence when you have the results that go along with it?
That was just me playing football, making the plays when the ball came my way. It wasn't really I wouldn't say it would be a confidence boost because it's just game 1. But I just plan on doing that. Playing football. That's all that was.
How's your relationship with Goff and your connection growing with him through the
years?
years?
It was good. We grew a real good connection and relationship over the summer, this past summer and spring. So everything's been good with that. Hopefully we can just keep going. Keep going. That's the main thing.
When you look at this offense as a whole, it just looks like you have so many different ways you can attack a team. Just how dangerous are you guys offensively when all the pieces are clicking?
I feel like it's real dangerous, because we got a lot of playmakers from the receivers, the tight ends, running backs, quarterback position. Even on the defense, we got guys who can get us the ball back. So I feel like we're real dangerous all over the board.
Did you feel like you got into the zone in that game where you just kind of felt like the football was just 10 times bigger and just everything was going your way?
Like I said, it was just me playing football. I caught the balls that came my way, and that was it.
We saw Jared give you that game ball on national TV. To get that game ball from your quarterback in particular, what did that mean to you? What is it?
It means a lot. He thought I was a player of the game, and it was big to me because it was probably my first game ball. It was Sunday night. It was national TV, so things like that. It was big to me. I love the game ball. It's still in my car though.
Did you sleep with it on Sunday?
Nah, I left it in my car. I
Talking about the support that you got from St. Brown, man. Some stars, if they don't get the targets like that, they're not going to be as supportive. What did that show you that he was still supportive of you even on the day where he didn't get as many targets?
That's real, because it's going to be days like that. It's going to be days like that for everybody. He was getting double coverage. He was getting, they had big eyes on him. Somebody had to step up and make plays, and the ball just came my way. I just made the plays that came my way. This week it might be different for him. They might look at somebody else, double somebody else, and it might be his week to go off for 200 or 2 touchdowns. It could be like that we got a lot of playmakers, so I don't feel like they can do that to anybody, week by week, you know, somebody gonna get out there and make a play.
Do you feel that after this kind of a game, a breakout game for you, that you're going to demand more attention from their defense?
If that would come with it, you know, but like I said, you can't really do that because we got playmakers all over. There's multiple at every position, and if you do that to somebody else, we still gonna find a way to win. You know, we got playmakers who can make plays.
What does it say about this football team that, you know, you guys, good teams in this league win football games, maybe when they don't play their best? That was probably one of the big takeaways from last week. What does it say about this offense and this football team that you guys can still win?
I think that win came from a hard camp. You know, we went so hard in camp. We worked on things like that, and it's just like how hard you willing to go for it. You know, it wasn't pretty. You know, but we still found a way. Overtime, you know. Offensive line did their thing in overtime, you know. Didn't take that much time, you know. We just went down the field, drove. Happily, we got the ball first. I just think those type of wins come from camp. You know, you gotta dig down and see who really won it. You know, camp be the hardest days of the year, and we compete a lot in camp. You know, so you see our guys don't play a lot in the preseason. So I feel like those wins come from camp. We gotta see who really won it.
It was kind of a Bama show on Sunday night. You and Josh scored touchdowns. Branch, Terrion doing your thing. Did it kind of bring you back to your Tuscaloosa days?
No, not really. I don't really think about Bama in the league. I know we all went to the same school, but we on Detroit Lions now. So we all got the connection from Bama, but I feel like we all Lions now. You know.
You've seen Brian Branch play for a long time. What makes him suited to play safety so well?
I feel like he just one of those, like, he goes so hard. Like, I don't think it's a lot of people who really go harder than him, man. He just won it. He real hungry, and I love that about him, man. Going against him, he can get you so much better, and just, you know, that's really what I love about him. He real hungry. No matter where he at, no matter how good people talk about him, he's still hungry, man. He love the game, so that would be my main thing about him.
At first, I had made a song called "Finally Made It," because that's when I had got drafted. But then I ain't let nobody hear like my other one. I had made one about getting drafted. So like my hook was like, "Wake up, it's draft day, time to bad chase. I got the draft jumping like a sack race." And then like. Just after that, I was like, I'm eating good now, like some crab cakes. Then I said, lost in the playoffs, but that was a sad day. This whole year been nothing but hugs and handshakes. So like I was just talking about like, you know, I lost in the playoffs at Alabama. That was a sad day. But then as far as like all these hugs and handshakes, like I just call it like, you know, you got some people who are like really there for you, who support you. Then you got some people who just watching to wait for your downfall.
Has Nick Saban ever listened to your music at Bama?
Nah, but me and Jay Mill and Walker Hayes, we had got on like this little Lank song, but like Walker, he ended up going on tour, so he got extremely busy then. But I'm one of them people like during the off season, like okay, I'd be big on music, but like now the season started, I was like, yeah, we gotta wait till after February 9th. So,
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've seen on the album art or what you guys have called yourselves, Mr. Wayne County. Talk about that part of your identity.
I would just say, wait, Wayne County?
Mr. Wayne County. I seen it
said
on the
that?
album. It was on one of the album covers.
Oh, no, that ain't me.
Single. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
that
Just
ain't
checking
me.
because I
But
didn't think it matched.
You know what was so crazy? I actually had a homeboy who sent me that like 2 weeks ago. I
Okay.
kid you not.
So I saw it.
And I was like, hold on, what you talking about? Wayne County? I'm
Okay.
from Leon County.
That's
like
what I
Tallahassee,
thought.
Florida. Yeah.
Okay.
Nah,
So
that
we're
ain't
not
me.
Mr. Wayne County.
Yeah, nah.
But I saw, if we're getting technical here, you've technically released under 2 albums. There's Family Members Only, and then there's another one with a bunch of numbers. Let's walk it through.
So look, my music got leaked. Like some of my music got leaked. So like that right there, that ain't me. Like as far as like my music, cause I had got mad at that. So I went into the studio. When I went into the studio, I was recording and kind of find out I asked to do the like mastering and stuff. And then like he found out who I was and he started putting it out. So then, you know, like I had something to do with that.
Not
but
cool.
like, yeah, that ain't cool.
Yeah, okay. So when it comes to this creative outlet, you've put out music this summer still. You're churning it out even while you're getting ready for this
Yeah.
next chapter in
Yeah.
your life. What does it do as a hobby for you?
I would say, you know, just as far as it allows me to like just talk about how I'm feeling. And then on top of that, like it's really something that keeps me out of trouble because I feel like as far as being 21, I'm mature, but at the same time, though, you know, in life we have a whole bunch of temptations, and then like just as far as staying in the house and you know, rapping instead of going to the club or just falling victim to the streets and stuff like that, it just gives me a chance to be by myself, or even like bond and chill with my teammates. Like I go to Curb House with Ennis, and we get to rapping like Curb. Don't get me right, like Curb, he getting his flow down, not like. He got punchlines, but Curb ain't really got no flow. But like just to see like the growth in him, like even like when we made a song after we had beat the Rams, he was just talking about how he caught that interception and stuff. But like our biggest thing is like when we rap, like we just talking about stuff like we really living for real. So yeah.
So when it comes to the end of this vision of the season, we've got the Super Bowl and we've got Kendrick lined up. What do you guys think of that?
I would just say like, you know, have my people, you know, do what they do and see if I can get one with him. Okay. But like my goal would just definitely be like make one with Eminem. And then I already, you know, as far as like the local rappers here, you got like 42 Dub, you got Babyface Ray, and then you got Cash Doll, and then even reaching out to them, like it's pretty cool. Like even Dej Loaf trying to get some with her, but as of right now, like you know, I'm focused on football. But like when that time comes, like after the season, yeah, we got a lot of stuff. Even me and BP got a podcast coming after the season.
Football-wise, what did you take from week 1? What was the biggest learning point?
I would say the biggest learning point from week 1, you know, don't panic. Like one thing about me, you know, when I'm in position, just go and make the play, but at the same time, not getting rattled. Like you know, as a rookie, you could see a PI. Obviously, you don't want those things to happen, but like staying poised, next play mentality.
That was the learning point from the 2 PIs.
Oh no, I thought you said like what did I learn?
Yeah, just
from
learning point.
Oh, learning
when
point.
You look at the 2 PIs. I mean, you look at those are 50-50 calls, I think. But what's the learning point there too?
Oh, okay. As far as the learning point, I would just say, you know, paying attention to detail and being at the right place. So I felt like, you know, on that 3rd and 7 that I had versus Cooper Kupp, if it's a good ball, I feel like I make that play, but at the same time, you don't even want to put yourself in situations like that. So it's just having a better understanding of the defense, but at the same time, I learned our identity. Like we got put on the field with 4 minutes left, situation that we practice and rep all the time in practice, and we were able to execute.
You said you and Branch are going to have a podcast after the season?
Yeah.
What's it going to be about?
It's going to, you know, just be about, like, I would say we haven't really found our identity, but just interviewing different people. Like, our first guest would be, like, somebody like Nick Saban. Just, like, a sit down and talk and just, like, really get to show our personality, but at the same time, get to know other people. So, like, you know, we go all the way, we win a Super Bowl. Hopefully Dan Campbell, like, just to get to see the ins and outs of it. And, you know, just showing our personality side and showing that we're bigger than just football players.
Was week 1 in the NFL what you expected it to be?
Yeah, I mean, coming from Alabama, I kind of felt like, you know, just being in big games, but like I didn't expect our stadium to be that loud. Like it was crazy. Like I see why crowd noise is that loud. Like my ears were literally shaking, and I was blown away and really amazed by it.
Terrion, it was kind of the Bama show. I mean, Brian Branch, yourself, J-Mo, Jameer. Was it kind of like running it back in the old days for you in week 1?
Definitely. I mean, you know, seeing J-Mo double move touchdown, I'm used to that. So, like, just seeing that for him and then seeing him getting going and then even watching him in practice, he's playing with a lot of confidence. And I'm looking forward to seeing him find his groove. And then Jameer just doing what he normally does. And then me and Brian on the back end, I've still been, you know, getting on to him. Like, we got to give him the jug machine about that interception. Like, man, you got to make them plays. And he will. And he's a playmaker. And I'm just looking forward to seeing our growth as the season progresses.
When you watch the film, is that the one takeaway too? Is just how many maybe plays you guys left on the field, a couple interceptions, dropped some missed tackles, maybe some opportunities that you guys can even play.
That were game changer plays. Like even, you know, just as far as the one with Cooper Kupp when he scored. Like if you go back and watch that play, I feel like, you know, with us getting on the same page and learning communication, maybe I could have possibly bumped out on that one. It wouldn't have been in the play call for me to bump out, but just seeing something like that and seeing a mental error on the defense and going and captivating it or replacing it. So,
that's just time on task?
Yeah.
And we've talked about the fine book, obviously. Did anything from week 1 from that game
get
into the fine book?
Definitely. Like, you know, our biggest thing, like going into the week, every week, is just limiting big plays and not beating ourselves. We had mental errors. We weren't on top of some plays, and, you know, Coach Shea, AG, J.O., they did a great job of letting us have it. And obviously, us just wanting to be great and being one of the top secondaries in the NFL, we grade ourselves very, very hard too. So, yeah.
How great was that presentation that Davis did about the Bucs and their wide receivers and stuff like that?
Carlton is a quiet dude, but he's very smart. So, like, as far as his presentation, he was very detail-oriented. He listed and he gave us a bunch of key pointers that will lead us to victory.
You lucky to have a guy like that in the locker next to you and across the field.
Yeah, that's my dog, man. Like, just coming in, like, I call Carlton, like, you know, he's one of the few guys that I call my big brother. But I don't mean big brother as far as, like, my big bro. I just mean it as far as, like, he's older than me. But, like, that's, like, just being able to be around him, like, we like fire and ice. Like, we're the opposite. Like, he's quiet, calm, reserved, man of very few words. And you can just see, like, the way he carries himself. He's a true vet. And you can see why he's been in the league going on so long. So I'm very fortunate to have him.
From your film study, what's your thoughts on Baker Mayfield?
I think Baker Mayfield, you know, I was just watching him even at his days at Oklahoma. He's a risk taker. He's one of those guys, like, even he said in his interview, if he has Mike Evans backside one-on-one, no double team, he's throwing the ball. So he has faith in his guys, and I'm looking forward to playing against him.
Did you play with Branch as a safety when you guys were at Bama together? And what's it like knowing that he's playing there behind you?
He was a nickel, but I knew he could play safety because he got reps at it. But just knowing that he's behind me, man, I got confidence in him. Like, even plays that you can't really see on TV, like, we're communicating about it, and I know what he's going to do just based on being around him and even having a friendship with him off the field. Yeah.
We know his closing speed, his physicality. Like, what else about his game do you think suits that free safety, strong safety role?
His football IQ. He has a lot of plays that if you ask him, like, what made you do that? He just goes out there and does it just because he can kind of feel that play. It's like his football IQ, and then, you know, just his calm and collectiveness. Like, he's another guy that I feel like next play mentality. If something happens, he's going to charge us to the game and then just go out there and execute the next one.